Welcome to Call of the Pen. Today is what is today? August 28th. Today is Wednesday, and a lot of things going on. We got Judge shooting for 61 homers, possibly more. Ohtani's 40-40. We have a good debate today between who do you want more on your team, Judge or Ohtani? I'm all Judge. Steve's Ohtani, but we got arguments for that one. We got my Royals, who I picked in the beginning of the year. They are in first place now. Steve's Tigers are actually coming. And I don't know. We got Cardinals, DFA, and relievers that they traded for. I don't know. Everything's getting weird. And we got a 44-year-old pitcher in the big leagues again, Steve. So we have a shot if we ever want to come back. Just soft toss curveballs up there, and we're good to go.
That's right. That's
anyway,
amazing.
So what do you got? We were talking pre-show. We got Judge. Here's a good debate. Judge is leading Ohtani by 3 WAR. If anyone cares about WAR, wins above replacements. It means he's 9 times better than the average player. Ohtani is at 6, and he doesn't pitch, and he only DHs, which means he cannot help the team on defense if he goes 0 for 4. Where Judge plays center field, and it's a premium position. So my argument is I think I would rather have Judge, and Steve says Ohtani on when he's healthy. But Ohtani's only pitched 166 innings ever in a season. So he averages maybe 5-6 innings a start. Steve, what is your argument here?
I mean, well, first of all, I said when he's healthy. Obviously, it's not a debate if Ohtani in his current condition, which, by the way, he's hitting, 294 with 41 jacks. In his current condition, obviously, you're going to take Judge. But with Ohtani, when he's healthy, anyone knows this. You're getting a number 1 on any team across the big leagues. He's that good. And I got to watch it firsthand, so maybe I'm a little bit biased. But I've seen him do it. And for me, you get a number 1 starting pitcher and a guy that can bat 1 through 4 in your lineup. Because guess what? He also steals bases. He has 40 stolen bases this year. All right.
Steve, number 1 pitchers don't just go 5 and dive and 5 and change. Number 1s are going into the 8th.
That average is that's a bad example because he didn't make all the starts. He missed 6 starts.
He was hurt.
Okay. For the other, 24 starts? He still pretty much guaranteed you a win almost. He's that good.
For the Angels. What are you talking about?
Yep, and guess what? He was our only bullet.
How many wins did he have? Let's see. I want to look right now. How many wins did he have in his best year? Give me time.
Regardless of the fact, he is giving you a very good chance to win the baseball game. Oh, and guess what? He's hitting second for you, and he's going to hit 50 homers. And also, he's going to steal 40-plus bases every year. I mean,
Not
for me,
year. He's going to decline on that.
Okay, we're talking currently. Here's his home run totals since 2021. 46, 34, 44, 41. And you, such a big WAR guy, you love WAR so much all of a sudden. You hate
only
WAR.
I compare myself sometimes.
Let's talk career WAR. 41.1 for Shohei. Judge is 51. So 10-point difference, right? But you also have to realize that Judge played a year and a half longer than Shohei has in the big leagues.
But Judge has also been hurt and missed plenty of time. Remember his foot that Cressy didn't want to talk about last year?
Yeah, but so Shohei cracked into the big leagues in 2018, and he's been hurt as well, since then. So that's a wash.
The most Shohei has ever won his best year was 15 games.
Yeah.
He's only won double-digit games twice.
Pitching for who?
You're an ace. I don't care.
Okay, so Jacob DeGrom.
DeGrom
had a sub 2.5 ERA and had a losing record, so that's his fault. Wins and losses is such a wash for me.
I agree. But if he was going to the 8th and 9th inning, then he probably gives himself a better. Scooble's 15 wins right now, and it's August on the Tigers.
Right.
Who, let's get to the Tigers. Your boys, they were your pick. They're 5.5 out of the wild card.
Wait a second. We're just going to leave the argument there?
Oh.
I need a little bit of a rebuttal here.
I say Judge right now. I'll take Judge. Look at the Dodgers are fine without Shohei.
Okay,
The Yankees
right
are not
now,
going anywhere without Judge.
going into next year, both are a free agent. They're the same price. Who are you taking?
What's the age?
Their ages. Judge is
What are their
33.
ages?
And how old's Shohei? I don't see it.
He's probably really 40.
Who, Judge?
No, Shohei.
So,
He's
give me
got
one
like some
second.
good. He's got a good face.
Judge will
cream.
be going into his age 33 season. I gotta look this up. Oh, I looked up Angels because that's what I do.
You got to move on from them.
I know. Shohei is 30, so Shohei's younger.
Okay, I would take Shohei.
This is the
But
equivalent of my
today,
wife
I
telling
take
me I'm
Judge.
right.
Today I take Judge.
Okay. Me too, because Shohei can't pitch. So yes.
Oh,
Or play defense. I'm saying when Shohei's healthy.
so he's just another hitter.
He's a very good hitter, but he's not Aaron Judge, who can play center field because Shohei can't play outfield.
So who would you take today?
I said today, Judge, but when Shohei's
okay.
healthy,
All right.
Shohei is healthy, I'm taking Shohei.
Today, 1-on-1, no pitching. Judge
That
is
wasn't
worth
the argument.
Three more WAR.
Watch the podcast when we're done. And just listen to what you said, and you started.
Yeah, it's going
this
all
thing.
over the place. I get it. But today, he's worth 3 more WAR head to head.
Which is incredible, right? Only 3. Shohei just DHs.
Yeah. What are you saying?
I'm saying they're not that far
Only
off.
3?
Judge
You know how
plays
hard
a
does
Gold
even have a
Glove.
3 WAR season by itself?
Oh, come on. You've had a 3 WAR season as a reliever, no?
1.8, highest I've ever had.
I think that's mine too. I don't know. I have to look. But yeah, I mean, I don't know.
The best, when Shohei pitches, the best he could ever be more than Judge is 2 extra WAR. That's the best he could ever Skubal is worth 5 or 6 WAR right now. So that's the best starting pitcher in the big leagues is worth 5 and change.
So you're telling me if the Dodgers next year are going to be just 2 games better than they are this year because Shohei's going to be able to pitch for them? I don't think so.
Much.
No, that's a bunch of
no, because they're going to give Joe Kelly $8 million to come in, and he's going to blow it again. He's going to look like crap and piss me off every time I watch this guy pitch.
Shohei is going to make that rotation astronomically better next year.
Okay. You got to take his pitching and you got to take his bat out. I don't know.
No,
they might
he
win
hits the
3 more
same.
games with him pitching. They might win 3 more games with him pitching.
Come on.
You get Shohei because you want him to pitch in the playoffs. The Dodgers don't need a starting pitcher to get them to the playoffs. The Dodgers can get anybody to go to the playoff. It's can they get someone to pitch in the playoffs?
So you're worried about him pitching in the playoffs?
Yes, that's all you want him for. Oh, Descalso texted me back.
Okay. Well, what did he do in the WBC?
Yeah, he was amazing.
In the championship game. Blew the doors off everybody, and especially off the greatest baseball player of all time.
The only way Shohei becomes more valuable because he gets to pitch in the playoffs.
I'm telling you right now, his game is going to elevate when he gets to the playoffs. Dude is hungry.
Anyways, we'll move on from that one.
All right, that was fun.
Danny Descalso just texted me back. I don't know if we covered it, but the Cardinals released a reliever that they traded for before the trade deadline. The guy had a 2.8 ERA, but he happened to be victim of pitching back-to-back days, and they use a ton of relievers. And I just texted the bench coach, said, how or why did you DFA Armstrong? You guys are 7 out of the wild card. He goes, not sure on that one. That was all front office.
You just threw him under the bus just like that?
I did.
Yeah, I don't know. That is tough. I think it doesn't take a rocket science, though, to be like, why do they DFA him? That makes 0 sense, unless they don't like him or something as a teammate. But
yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
Cardinals are tough to fit in. I don't know. Actually, Wainwright's not there anymore. It might not be as bad.
What's today's date? Oh, so it's not even close to the
I
deadline.
already said it. 28th.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I don't know. They figured he can just slip through the cracks, and just.
Not with a
I got
2.8 ERA.
I gotta imagine someone's gonna swipe him quick.
Yeah, because you got to get him on the roster before the end of the month, and he can be on the playoff team. So now a playoff team's going to grab this guy.
Exactly.
Good for him.
Here come the Yankees.
Yeah, the Yankees are just trying to throw slop up there.
Yankees are going to get him much.
So Michael Tonkin DFA'd, where 3 months ago, Michael Tonkin was the hero of the Yankees, and they called him the sheriff, and they didn't care if he closed, he could do anything, and now DFA.
Yeah, he must have really screwed up. I mean, he had like a 6-something ERA in his last, 7 or 14 games, I think I saw. So they're just kind of over it, probably.
Well, I think it's just because I played with the guy. I think he was getting hit in by pitching in kind of low leverage, and he was getting good numbers. And all of a sudden, he gradually the more he got pushed in the high leverage, they start using lefties and all that, and he just really had nothing for them. So then he just got exposed, and that's what happened. That's why it's so important for righties to be able to have something for lefties.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and that's their Achilles heel in the bullpen is, left-handed pitching.
Yeah, so they had Miza in yesterday. He gave it up. They lost to the worst. I just read the headlines. The Yankees lose to the worst pitcher in baseball.
Wow. Wow. That had been the Yankees. Yeah, but he hasn't given up a run his last 2 outings.
I know. For the last 2 outings, he's been amazing. So he might have figured something out, or he got motivated.
Well,
maybe his contract's up, and he's like, you know what? I'm going to go get hot this last month, and I'll get myself another year and get another $15 million in the bank.
I saw a comment saying it's election year, so he's ramping his game up there towards the end. It's awesome. I'm curious if he finishes strong, if he was just domed up about getting his 100th win. He only needed 3 more wins to start this season. He just got it, not this last start, but the one before. So now it's now that the weight is off his shoulder, I wonder if it he just takes off or something.
Maybe, but his stuff before was bad. It looked like he had no energy on the mound. There was no pep to his step. And then I watched last night, and dude, when that dude if he's 94, 93, 94, 92 with that slider being sharp, he's tough. He is tough.
Yeah. And I will say this, if people think if you read comments and people's reaction, they think he cashed it in once he got that contract. He cares a lot. He was so frustrated when I played there. Every time he got crushed, they're telling me to do this, I'm trying it, and now I'm going back to what I know best, and that's not working. He's just all over the place. So hopefully, I mean, if he can turn around, what a comeback that would be.
Oh my amazing. Gosh. I thought for sure.
Great,
I can't believe they never released him.
Oh, they stuck with him.
If he didn't win the World Series for them, he might have been released. If he didn't win the World Series for them, he might have been released.
Yeah. But they're also rebuilding, so it's well, what difference does it make? I'm going to let this veteran guy who's won a World Series, be around these young guys, That's
what I just said. If he didn't win a World Series, he might have been released.
Well, you cut out. You have terrible internet over there.
Yeah, it's tough in the streets out here. It better not happen on my draft next week. I'll be mad.
I got a question for you.
If people don't know on this channel, starting in a couple weeks, me and another guy who is a really big sports bettor and great at football betting, we might be doing some football coverage, fantasy and sports betting. So make sure you tune in for that.
That's something I do not. I need advice on, I should say. I will not be on here giving fantasy football advice after my last draft.
Well, I do have 5 or 6 high-stakes fantasy championships. I'm not saying I know everything, but I kind of have a great idea what I'm doing.
I will say this. You know your stuff in fantasy football. I was impressed. When we did our team together.
I can't believe it.
Come on, man. I give you a lot of compliments. Really good. You were on top of that stuff. It was fun.
How did your team do last year, by the way, when I helped you? I don't know, what'd you do, a trade?
I did a big trade. I got to the semifinals.
Oh, nice.
And lost. Yeah. Complete turnaround season. To a point where guys were no more trading with Cishek. stupid trades because he about went from the worst team in the league to the best. In
Yeah,
fact, I think my team was the best. And I just
traded
didn't.
scraps to get McCaffrey.
Yep, McCaffrey. He's the only one that really performed for me, though. The whole group, but it was so worth it.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. Once you get to the playoffs in fantasy football, it's like it's pure luck after that, really.
Oh yeah. I think I won the first round, and then the second round I got bumped, something like that.
Anyways,
but it was close.
Back to our baseball. The Royals are now tied for first place.
Mm-hmm.
Can they hold it? Is this sustainable, do you think?
I think so. They've been playing good baseball all year. They got good pitching.
And that stadium's going to start rocking.
Yeah, the stadium. Oh, man. When they show up, it's incredible. Brady Singer is having himself a year.
Who I don't like,
nice
by
season.
the way.
I didn't either, but he's figured it out. Waka has been so good over the last 3 or 4 years.
Oh, he dealt against the Phillies.
Cole Reagans, he's young, 26-year-old, 3.28 ERA, 10-8. So they got 3 solid starting pitchers, and also Seth Lugo, who make it 4. Yep.
What about
27
the bullpen,
games started? Well, they got my boy Hunter over there, but he got hurt. Did I just see Michael Lorenzen just got hurt too? He pitched the other day. They had to pull him.
Hammy.
Oh man, that guy's a freak athlete.
Reliever Will Smith pitch against the Phillies. That was rough. It was almost sad because that guy's had a good career, and it was kind of really sad to watch.
Yeah, World Series champ.
2 or 3 times, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh! If they win again with him on the team, that'd be unbelievable.
It's every team's gonna sign him. Every
regardless, you can suck all you want. Just be on our team, whatever you do.
I don't know. What do you think about their bullpen?
I mean, the thing about it, it's a lot of names that you just don't know, so it's just under the radar stuff.
Yeah.
But they attack. They're not scared. They get after it. I would be interested to see now that they're kind of in the first place, how they start handling the pressure of the playoff chase. Because we all know when you're warming up and stuff's on the line, it's in your head. You see the scoreboard, things change a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
They've only lost 6 games since the All-Star break on the road, which is amazing.
Wow. Yeah, they're 7-3 their last 10. Obviously playing good baseball. I don't know if you saw the clip. Things are going well. Salvador Perez just went into some kid's backyard and played wiffle ball with them.
Yeah,
did you see that? That was awesome. That was one of the coolest things. Yeah, he's over there hitting balls off the kid's forehead and stuff, running the bases. It was great.
In the fall league, and I absolutely hated throwing to him.
Really?
Because he's so high. Well, he's just such a
big target.
He's a massive person, but he sits so high. I just hated it. But great human. Didn't understand a word he said, but.
Let me ask you this. I think the better question is, will Minnesota hang on?
I don't think.
Last team right now in the American League wild card spot. 4-game lead on the Red Sox.
They have a 4-game lead on the Red Sox?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Red Sox aren't doing so hot. But really, Minnesota's not either. Red Sox, then guess who? Detroit, 5.5 games back. And then Seattle. And I didn't look at Seattle's schedule, but I looked at the Twins' schedule and Detroit, so I want to see if it's possible. I think I saw that the Twins had an easier schedule going forward. Detroit's got some work to do. It's a huge test.
They do.
In fact, huge series coming up. Boston, they play Boston next week.
Oh, wow.
Or, I'm sorry, this weekend. And then they got to go to San Diego. Oakland, obviously not great. Oakland's been playing good ball. Colorado is their handout, but Baltimore, Kansas City, and Baltimore again.
So the Tigers?
Yeah,
they got a shot.
Then they end the season with the White Sox, the last 3 games. So if they can just stay afloat and just
wow,
baby steps.
I wonder what would happen if they would have kept Flaherty.
That would have been nuts. Oh, yeah, exactly. Good point. Isn't that amazing? They trade these, but then the young guys step up. They're probably excited about,
Yeah.
you know, who
They're
knows?
not playing. Javier Baez got hurt, went on the IL. That probably saved them a lot. Not gonna lie.
Oh, did he? I didn't even see that.
Yeah, he had like some spine thing, lumbar spine.
A little stenosis.
Maybe it might have been one of those. Javi, doesn't your back hurt today? I don't know. Yeah, it does. You're on the IL.
Classic.
I don't know. They got a shot. How about the Red Sox? Call up Rich Hill, 44 years old. They just signed him to a minor league deal last week. He's just been getting in shape at home, and then the guy decided he wanted to play, and here you are, you're in the big leagues. Like,
yeah, he's
world?
When I was up there in Massachusetts, he was throwing bullpens at like the Falmouth Commodores, like the Cape League field.
Really?
Yeah, the high school baseball field, basically.
What in the heck?
Like, it's pretty. Yeah, I don't know. He's still doing it. I mean, he's got that hammer of a curveball. Like, I guess if you just have that unbelievable secondary pitch, you can still do it. I don't know.
And he spins it from all different angles. And he lives there. It's easier when you live. I think if I was 44 and I had to go travel and be away from my family, I don't know, that'd be tough to do. But I guess if you get to play in your home, close to your home city, it's easier to do.
When's he start next?
I don't know. They just called him up today or last night. So maybe in the next couple of days.
What if so they had to move down Josh Winchowski, if I said that right?
Yeah, and they designated Brett Keller.
Oh, okay. Like, what are you like just beyond mad that like basically who's the Jamie Moyer reincarnated's coming in and taking your spot at like 50 years old?
Yeah, like what are you thinking getting sent down? You just got sent down for a guy that just signed off the street that's 44 years old last week.
I'm thinking in the off season I better get after it because I can't let that happen again.
You either get depressed, well, you're gonna find out a lot about whoever this kid is. Or I'm absolutely pissed. Was he dealing? What was the kid's stats?
Winchowski? No, not really.
Yeah.
No. Who'd you say got designated?
Brad Keller.
Oh, Brad Keller, yep. Wow, they did a lot of moves on the 27th to make this happen.
They're trying to get all the names they want for the playoffs.
Keller wasn't throwing great either. So.
Well, it is what it is. I mean, it's just part of the business. It sucks, but getting designated for or sent down for a 44-year-old guy throwing 88 with curveballs.
Unless he goes out there and shoves.
Yeah, he can do it in spurts. If they do a long relief, they could bring him in for 2 or 3, or he'll be like an opener and he'll go through. He's never going to be like only a couple times through. I don't know. Last time he was so hit or miss. It is what it is. We'll see. Remember when he got traded to the Padres last year? I was killing them for that one, and he was getting destroyed.
Was he?
Yeah.
Well, let's see if it pays off because they're desperate right now for solid starting pitching. So,
yeah, they have for a while. They've kept it together, but man. So with the Twins, who do they play down the stretch? Who has a favor schedule?
I think the Twins do. Just looking at it, I mean, they get to play Kansas City. The toughest teams are Kansas City, Boston. Oh, I'm sorry. Kansas City, Cleveland, Boston, and Baltimore. But first they go play Toronto. Not great. Tampa Bay.
Actually playing well right now. Young energy.
That's true. They are playing better. Tampa Bay, who's, you know what you can get out of them. They're not going to score a ton of runs, but they're going to pitch. Kansas City, so that's a huge series. Then you got the Angels, the Reds, and then Cleveland for 4 games. So that's tough. But then Boston, Miami, and then they finish with Baltimore. That's the kicker. Whereas Detroit finishes with the White Sox.
So the only easy part they got is Miami, and really Miami. Toronto is no joke, really. And Toronto has starting pitching. It's not like they don't have starting pitchers.
No, it's in Minnesota.
Oh, it's in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Well, Toronto. History says that Toronto normally plays well in Minnesota when I was there, at least. But I'm just saying, like, they have good starting pitching. And Toronto got knocked out by Minnesota last year in the playoffs, so there's that for the wild card.
So what have they done lately? Toronto 7-3. You're right; they're playing really well. Yep, they were 8-2 prior to last night. last night's loss.
This is iffy when you're like a team chasing it and you go and play those teams that weren't very good, but then they bring the young prospects up and they're just looking to just spoil for you, and they're just trying to ruin your year.
That's what the Nationals, I feel like, are doing right now. They brought up that Cruz kid. They got such a young lineup right now, and this is
People
like
I've
their
never seen
future.
before.
So I was thinking about this earlier this morning. I'm like, this is almost like Baltimore did a few years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're getting these guys some exposure. They're showing you they can play. Like give them 2 more years and watch out.
They need starting pitching.
Oh yeah, definitely. But they also have Josiah Gray, who's hurt. He's gonna be done for the year. Who else was I looking at? The Irvin kid looks good.
What's the lefty? Gore?
Yep, Gore.
Mhm.
They're gonna have him back next year. Cade Cavalli's coming back. He's like a major prospect, or was a major prospect for them when I was there. He's like rehabbing in minor leagues right now. Who's the kid, the lefty there? I was not Corbin.
They'll probably go sign like a
Mitchell
Jack
Parker.
Flaherty. Watch, they'll probably sign Jack Flaherty. If they're trying to make a run for it, they'll go sign somebody like that.
Yeah, that would be great. You need one of those guys to solidify, your rotation, and build around those young guys. Absolutely.
That's interesting. I don't.
I mean, dude. Well, I know you don't, but I'm just bringing them up because this is like exactly, I feel like, what Baltimore did a few years ago, and now they're unbelievable. But they call up that James Wood kid, and he's killing it. He's only 21 years old.
Yeah, that guy is pretty good.
Yep.
Let's move over to the West. Both West, really. We had Scott Service got fired, which I understand. Like, managers get fired when they're not performing, but the guy can't hit for them. And their bullpen acquisitions have not worked out. They got rid of guy. I mean, their moves are just weird. All the time, we're always thinking, like, what is Seattle doing? Last year, they traded their closer, Seawald. Seawald goes up and gets in the World Series. But, why is the manager getting fired? He can't hit for them. Like, fire the hitting coach, if anything. But then they bring in Wilson, who's, because he had great relationships with people. But it's just weird.
Dan Wilson's around a lot, so he's a familiar face. I think, they fired the hitting coach too. But I'm pretty sure I don't know if they did it or not, but there are talks of Edgar Martinez coming back as a hitting coach, which would be huge.
I did see him in the dugout, so he must be back.
Okay. Because he was there when I was there. Awesome guy, man. And we smashed. We just couldn't pitch. But like, he's a great coach, like super low key down there. Wilson's the same way. They're both like low key type. Service could be rah here and there, but yeah, I mean, for me, it just falls on Dipoto. Like, he makes some crazy moves. He just is super trade happy. There's no continuity. Yeah, I don't know.
At what point?
I actually don't mind the trades, like getting a Rosarino. I know he's not having a good year, but
yeah, Rosarena hasn't worked out in that trade. No one's really worked out on the moves that he's made. Chagua gave it up again last night. Like, I don't know, man. It's just weird. Like, at what point did the owner be like, okay, what this guy's doing hasn't worked out, and we keep firing. We fired the manager. We always hitting coach. Like, falls back on the guy that's orchestrating everything.
Well, I think a lot of it too is Stanton, the owner, is trying to save. He's pinching some pennies. Like, you got to make this happen with this budget, and they're trying to maneuver guys the best they can. But it's just they need that extra. They need to get like a true banger in there. Because then you got, like, when Julio Rodriguez isn't performing to how he's capable of, now look what happens. The rest of the lineup's starting to struggle. He's the trendsetter on the team,
Let's see what a Rosarena has done since, let's see, the All-Star break.
I like him. I just think he probably needs a reset button at this point, or a new hitting coach, which Edgar is going to be great if that's the case. He,
in his last 15, he's hitting a $173 with 338 on base percent, 269 OP slugging. So that is, he was due to regress like that. I mean, I know that he's going crazy, but I don't know. I always thought you could really pitch him inside with the way his swing path was, and
dude, like, Tampa is so sneaky with that stuff. Like, they see something in it.
Exactly. If they're going to trade their which was their best hitter the last 2 years. Why would they do that?
But then they do. But I say that then they get Morel on the team. And they hit him fourth. Like the guy's
That's
hitting a
cool.
$190, bro. Like
I didn't say they're good at trading for people. Sometimes they're just if they want to get rid of somebody, there's a reason.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see. He's hitting 244. He's been a little better since the All-Star break. 244 with a 385. So he's got an 830 OPS, post All-Star, pre-All-Star, 671 OPS. So I guess you're getting a little better player than what he was doing with Tampa. But
I would like to have him on my team. I'd be pretty pumped. I know he's not the same right now, but
does he play a good left field?
Yeah, I think he does. I don't really know, actually. I haven't looked at his DRS.
I know he's not really good at, like, when there's a homer and you always see him just standing there watching. Like, come on, give us a jog. Give us something. He's always just standing there and watches it. Give me something out of that one.
That's hilarious. That's so true. Speaking of which, did you, before we get off or move on, the Mets the other day? When Padres walked it off on a homer, as soon as the ball's hit, it's in the air, the entire infield just jogs off the field. Like,
no way.
It looks so bad.
Can we just stand and watch it? Like, if I'm the pitcher and you beat me to the dugout, like, dang, man.
Yeah. I think Edwin Diaz is pitching, and he just gave up a tank, and everyone just puts their head down and runs off the field before the ball's even halfway out. It's such a bad look.
The Astros are looking good. They're struggling against the Phillies, but man, they're such a good team.
They're not. Yeah, no one's going to catch them now. What a terrible start to the season too. And there's no doubt they're going to turn around. No, I knew they were going to turn around. I picked them.
Hater is still not the same though. I don't care what anyone says.
I mean, you're right, but he was like insane when we were playing.
Yeah, but that's why you gave him $100 million to be insane. You're not be 6-7 with a 3.2 ERA.
Oh, look at that! I got the list right here. Boom. Let me confirm that. I did. AL. Where's AL?
He's got 7 losses.
Astros. You said Rangers. What a loser.
Well, I thought DeGrom and Scherzer were going to be there.
No, I don't think anyone saw this happening.
What are the Rangers? The Rangers are 9.5 or 11.5 out of the wild card. They're bad. That's a bad team. They try to run it back too much with the World Series.
Yep.
The Braves are actually playing better. They're 12 games over 500. They were catching the Phillies for a second, and then the Phillies are putting it back together. So they're going to probably take off a little bit. But the Phillies have a little bit of bullpen issues. Like Alvarado has not been really good this year. So, I mean, that's one of your most dominant lefties to have to come in and just be your fire guy. And
he does that, though.
Trust him. He does do that. He walked 4 guys the other day.
How many? You cut out 4 guys?
He walked 4 guys the other day.
Wow. And then when the end of the season comes around, then he starts throwing darts again.
If he does. He has 8 walks in his last 6.6 2/3.
Oh.
2.25 whips. So something's going on with him. And if they don't have him, they're going to be in some serious trouble. Not to finish strong, but to like in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
but
Phillies,
Phillies are good. Bryce is starting to get it. Bryce is getting a couple hits, and as we all know, and Castellanos. If they ever got anything out of Castellanos, then that team's really good. And now he's starting to turn it back up. So they are just so deep. I mean, Real Muto hits 2 bombs the other day in Kansas City. Like, there's so many guys that can just win the game for you. It's so deep.
It's wild. Right now, the Mets are 3 games back on Atlanta for that wild card spot. Do they have a chance? Or do you have them making it?
Ooh, is it the last wild card spot?
Yep, I believe so. Atlanta's 3 games ahead of them.
I mean, it's fun to be on that team chasing, I'll tell you that. It's a little stressful to be on the team getting chased.
I learned that. It was fun, though.
It's a lot of fun. I mean, it's so exciting every day to show up to the field now for those, especially those two teams.
Oh, no
If
doubt.
you're the Mets, you're definitely like highly energized. Like, I'll pitch every day. That's how
Yeah,
you feel. And
so
the Braves, sometimes you're like, oh, I don't want to be the guy to blow it. Oh, I'm kind of sore today.
it would be crazy because what year was it when the Mets like had an insane lead and they blew it down in September?
I remember Carlos Beltran was on that
Oh,
team.
yeah, I forget when, but
It was
it'd
like
be
a 10-game lead they blew. Something insane.
something crazy.
I
That'd
think
be
everyone
nuts.
got fired for that one. What about
Huh?
what do you think? The Mets can catch him?
No. Why am I? What's going on in the background of my thing?
I have no idea, but it looked pretty cool.
No, I don't think that fireworks. No, the
Yeah.
Mets. I don't think we'll catch them. I think this Atlanta's got the experience.
They
I don't
lost
know.
they're so hurt, they're so banged up. They lost their
I
third
know.
baseman. They
Who,
have
Riley?
nobody. There's not that they don't have nobody, but just think they don't have Acuna. They don't have it. I mean, Riley, they lost Strider. I mean, they are so banged up and they're still just hanging around. That's how good that manager is.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah. And then obviously the GM has done a great job of filling in.
But you know what's awesome about the Braves? They have a guy on the 40 name whose first name is Nacho. I just saw that. Nacho
His last name
Alvarez.
Libre?
Nacho Alvarez Jr. So there was a senior Nacho.
Wow, there was a senior Nacho.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Real quick on the West, the Dodgers are 3 up on the Diamondbacks and the Padres. The Padres are extremely hot. Diamondbacks are solid. They moved Montgomery to the bullpen, which is insane. That shows, I mean, that he got a ton of money, 1-year deal. But the thing about that guy was a hot commodity. That guy was hot in the playoffs, and he only got a 1-year deal. So what the heck was out on him? And then second of all, can these guys catch the Dodgers?
I think a few things. He signed late, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Extremely late.
So there's reason one why he's probably struggling, and then two, I don't know if that's a great division to be pitching in for a sinker ball contact hitter or contact pitcher.
No,
Arizona ball flies, LA the ball flies, and obviously Colorado.
All the infields are rock hard.
Yeah,
except for San Diego, but it's a very fast field.
right. So I just didn't think it played to his game. I mean, I don't fault Arizona for signing him. I mean, even next year, if I'm a contender, I'd sign him if it's a good fit. You know, if you have a field that's adequate, like a Tampa, Seattle, great ballpark to pitch in. You know, shoot. I mean, I'd trust this as a fluke year. He's been so good.
Pittsburgh.
Or maybe the Yankees sign him back. Who knows?
Go back to St. Louis, where
Pittsburgh would be a good one.
Yeah, I like Pittsburgh. All right, last one. Can
St.
these
Louis
guys
would
catch
be a
the
good
Dodgers?
one.
Can these guys catch the Dodgers? Last one. What do you got? Are the Padres going to get them?
No.
Just flat out no. Not even close. It's only 3 games, 3.5.
Yeah, the Dodgers have been there before. They've been there plenty of times. Now, if both of those teams make the playoffs, though, and they play the Dodgers in the playoffs,
yeah,
now we got a different story.
Shohei did throw a bullpen, even though he's not going to pitch. But
how sick would that be, though?
That would be crazy. I like what San Diego's got going on, though. These guys, something's going on. They've turned it around so well. They're winning late. That's the thing. They're winning late games. They're coming back and winning late, which the Dodgers do well, too. So that's going to be interesting.
Mm-hmm. I mean, dude, that, who was it? Merrill, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That dude's incredible. When the game's on the line, like he's insane.
For a rookie?
Mm-hmm. I think getting Arias helps to lead off. You know he's going to get on base. But Merrill, I mean, look at this lineup. It's way better than I thought. Arias, Profar, and Merrill for me are the two guys that are the ones that solidified this lineup, like made them dangerous. Profar's having an unbelievable year for what he's done in his career. You know, Cronenworth's going to run into a ball. He's hitting third in their lineup. Then Machado's he's solid as it gets. Bogart's in front of Merrill because Bogart's good contact hitter, not a ton of pop, but they're putting all these guys on base for Merrill just to drive him in. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Just as he's a six hitter in the lineup.
Dodgers have the Orioles, and then the Padres are playing the Cardinals.
Wow. Yep.
Diamondbacks are playing the Mets. Whew, that's a good series. Well, that's today. Probably end of a lot of it. Anyways, that's it for this week. A lot of good stuff. I say Judge is the better player right now. So, all right, have a great day. See you guys.
See ya.